forest.
Anyway, thanks to our friends, Mary and Forrest, who are here behind the camera and at the keyboard. Anyway, I am Cherie.
And I'm Chris.
And we're Technomadia. Sometimes the tech is a little challenged.
Tech in nomadic places can sometimes be very challenging. I wish I could just drag an Ethernet cord around behind us some days.
Anyway, behind us, you see our new to us 2016 Winnebago Travato 59G.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we've been hunting for a Class B. We kind of decloaked back at the Tampa RV show that we were looking to trade our Mini Cooper for a shuttlecraft that we can use to hop around the country to get from our boat on the East Coast and our bus kind of in the desert Southwest.
And to have something that we could camp in while we're in our boating season. Go to RV events, get out camping like this, and just, because we're really slowing down our pace on the boat. We're loving staying in cool marinas for extended amounts of time, but we also are missing our land time as well.
So, yeah, we shared about what we were looking for and kind of the process around. We wanted something that would be a practical daily driver, something that would fit in a single parking space, roughly. Something that would be easy to drive, something that would be a comfortable cross-country traveling vehicle, but that we could sleep in and camp in and do all the RVing type things that are great.
And we thought we might start with just a very basic camper van.
Yeah,
but
maybe like a 15-year-old one, a beater.
Yeah, so we thought that'd be just fine for these purposes. It's going to be something we park in a marina and then have to figure out how to go back and get and drive up the coast. But when we were at the Tampa RV show and we looked at the Travato 59G, it really struck us as a great balance with layout. Okay.
Get closer, Mary, or us to you.
Anyway, the 59G really stood out to us as a great layout that would not just be a minimalist setup, but something that would be fun to go camping into.
Yes. And what we really loved about the 59G versus almost every other camper van layout that we saw and that is around is it has kind of a whole front seating area, a lounge table, everything separate from the bed and the bedroom. And so many other vans, you have the bed takes up the entire back. It's a huge bed, and then that becomes your table, and you have that transformation process necessary. And we've lived in RVs that require daily transformation, and that really doesn't call us.
And we also have offset sleep schedules. Sometimes I'll go to bed earlier and he's working late, or I might wake up earlier in the morning and get some work hours done. So having a separate work area from the sleeping area is also really nice. So how we found this camper van. So we're continuing to search in February, but we got consumed with boat projects in Sanford, getting the solar installed and a whole bunch of other projects going on. And it just became less of a priority to get something this spring, especially since one of the reasons for having a van or an RV with us on the East Coast is doing our filming for the upcoming TV series, The RVers. Well, we were able to do all that filming at the Our Village rally.
Yeah, so it synced up that we were able to basically get our entire first season knocked out while at the Our Village rally. So the pressure to have an RV for a background wasn't so much there. We knew we wanted to have something, for winter season at the very latest. We just kind of put it out there. Like, we know we want something like a Travato 59G, something, a 59G or something like it. We just kind of trust the universe that the right one would come along at the right time, and we just were waiting for it, and everything just clicked.
So we got to our next marina. The trucks go by. We got to our next marina at the beginning of this month, and as we're walking by, we saw this Travato sitting in the parking lot, and we figured, well, we need to find who owns it and pick their brains on what it's like to have a daily driver of Travato, if it really does work, if we're just deluding ourselves.
Yeah, how is it using, because we could tell it was gone several times a day out running errands. We knew whoever was there was using it as their daily driver. It was a frequent use, and it's like, okay, we want to be like this guy. And so we actually shared that at a marina dock party happy hour, that like, hey, does anybody know who has that Travato? We'd love to just pick their brain and see how they like it and all that other stuff. And
they said, oh, he's my neighbor, and he had mentioned he wanted to sell it.
Ding. What?
And this was we went to the happy hour on Monday. We finally met him on Wednesday, and we closed on it last Friday. And it just all worked out so serendipitously. And while Chris is actually talking to the guy on the phone, I had run down to pick up our friends Ann and Elliot. They had just put their boat on the hard just south of here.
So she was off on a Mini Cooper road trip. I was back home. I was actually talking to the guy going through all the details of the Travato, and I was like, this seems perfect for us, and his asking price was fabulous, and he just seemed like a really great guy, and we're like, So I text Cherie saying, I think we just found a Travato to buy.
And I still told our friends that, and they say, we call first dibs on the Mini. So really, like inside of 5 minutes, we had pretty much thought we found our Travato and already had a
sold the Mini
buyer for
Cooper.
the Mini Cooper.
I love how we love when the universe works that way. We know that's when we're on the right path. This just the serendipity, everything just lines up and clicks. This Travato was in such immaculate condition. It was the exact interior and exterior style we would have picked if we were buying new, but it is not new, so it's a lot cheaper.
We don't have the depreciation of a brand new one. We got something that's been lovingly cared for. And let's go take you for a tour.
Yes.
Let's quit babbling.
Yes, before the connection goes away again.
All right, I'm taking the hotspot with us.
Okay. And here we are. This is what we kind of love about the Travato. It is based on the Dodge ProMaster chassis. And start.
Got the cat clip already right
Yes,
here.
there we go.
I'm going to hand the cat over to Mary.
Okay. Kiki has been loving this, by the way. She has not been more active. This is our first day in it. We're about to have our first night sleeping in it. But your audio is primary, Cherie, so you do the narration.
All right. So, what we loved about it, what Chris said, is the front living area. So, the two front seats, of course, when you're driving, they go forward, but they create two seats. While here, you've got a table, you've got a bench with two seating areas. This also has a back cushion that can sit against the door when it's closed, so this becomes a third seat or a bench. The freshwater tank is actually in here. That's why it's primary purpose. So we have this nice sitting area, work area, dining area. We actually were hanging out with Forrest and Mary just before this. Had snacks, very comfortable for four around the table.
You've had five around the table.
We did have five around the table. And then you come in. It's dark back here. All right. Got the galley. I guess in RVs we have to go back to calling it a kitchen, right? It's got a 2-burner stove. It's got a sink that pops up from under here. We've got stuff on top of it, so I won't take it up, but it's a little faucet that comes up. It's got a good-sized fridge, teeny little freezer. It's got a microwave oven. This one is just a microwave. It's not a convection, so there is not a baking oven in this one. There's I want to call it a locker. I've been on the boat for too long. I think they call it a closet or a wardrobe.
There's a substantial amount of storage.
There is a little storage cabinet up here, but
and also solar and all of the Truma system and all sorts of other good things there.
Yeah, we have 100 watts of solar on this one, and I think they're just AGM batteries on this. Or
Yeah,
the
AGM
or,
batteries,
yeah.
no lithium.
Yep. When the bed is up, it's a Murphy bed style, so it comes out of the way, creates you a nice bit of storage here, so you can transport bicycles or boxes or anything else that we might be doing as a daily errand sort of stuff. But then the bed just unclips down. It has the Froley box spring system on it. Mattress comes down. And the bed it's not quite a full-size bed, so it is a little small for two people, but we like to snuggle. So for three with the cat, we're hoping it'll be fine. We did take a nap on one when we were testing them, looking at them in our search, and we think it's going to be fine. It's probably about the same size as our original bed in the tab. So, and then the bathroom, which right now is storing our pillows. It is a wet bath, but it has a shower head. And there is a curtain you can snap in here if you want, but most people don't. And
Very sizable bath for our RV that's only 21 feet long.
Yep. So the Travato is 21 feet. It's on the Dodge ProMaster chassis. The water tank is 15 gallons. The gray is
12. I mean, they're not big tanks.
and I think the black is 11, and it is a traditional black tank where you dump just like a normal RV. So yeah, we're pretty happy. This is our very first night in it, so we're looking forward to seeing how the bed works out. And Kiki seems to be loving it. She seems to be really loving being back in an RV.
And here, I'll show you the other side of how the back works. It's got a spare tire that can spin out of the way, which we'll probably get rid of. And you got this big giant screen to just really open up. And if you're in some place where you got, and you want to enjoy the outdoors.
And it's got a zip up so you can get in and out of it.
So we love just how open it feels to have the screens closed. Both on there's a big screen on the side door as well. So, yeah. Hey.
Yeah, so that's our new Travato. We'll do a produced tour of it later when we've got better connectivity. You still have the hotspot with you?
It's right up here.
Okay.
Doing good. Maybe we can take a few questions, I guess, as long as the connection keeps staying up. So we can keep the hotspot close. I don't think it wasn't a hotspot issue. It was something up higher upstream. Okay. Mary's back to camera. And sorry about the tech difficulties.
So how many miles did it have? It had 30,000 miles on it when we purchased it.
Yes. And it was in such immaculate condition. I was really loved that. Other questions, throw them into the chat because we'll only hang out for a few minutes. And then we'll share a lot more about it once we actually got some experience with it. But it just felt so great to pull into this campground today, be back under the trees, back into our, the RVing is in our blood. This campground is our exact style with tons of open space, very big private sites, walking and trails, and it just feels good to have that back at our beck and call. And we can just do little weekend trips or weekday trips whenever we feel like it now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So what year is it? It is a 2016. So I guess 3 model years behind.
Yeah.
The Travatos came out in 2014, and a lot of initial changes were made in those first couple of years.
Now the 2019s, they were very tempting to get a 2019.
So you need to be closer to the microphone.
Okay, there you are. A 2019 GL with the lithium and stuff would have pressed all my tech buttons and would have been able to run the air conditioner and keep Kiki cool while we were out and about. But that would have about doubled the cost, I guess, for us, which is just not worth it. We'll probably do our own upgrades of some sort rather than have them factory installed.
Will we tow it behind the bus? No, we had made one reason we decided to go with a camper van is when we started thinking about what we were going to replace the Mini Cooper with, is we said, when we're in the bus, we're just going to be doing short trips around the desert Southwest. We're not going to be doing long miles, so it's not a big deal for us to convoy.
Right.
And then that opened up the idea to, well, why don't we get a camper van then that's really comfortable for going across country, and that we can do trips when we're on the boat.
Yeah. As it was a real challenge with our bus. Our bus was never designed to tow things. It was a passenger bus with a monocoque chassis, and it was great towing the Mini Cooper, but something much larger than the Mini really would not have been great for that. So there weren't a lot of other options for what we could replace the Mini Cooper with other than a newer Mini Cooper or something else similar and small. And we didn't want a small vehicle anymore. So giving up the idea of needing it to be towed suddenly opened up all our horizons.
Yeah. So we'll see how it works out in practicality, but I think it's going to be a good mix for us.
Yeah.
Is there room for more solar?
Yes, I think some people have fit up to 400 watts onto one of these, and the solar controller is actually is oversized, so the controller has actually got easy space for extra panels. And they even have an outside hookup for ground deploy panels that you can just carry around and do that way if you want, already pre-wired.
Okay, we have a very important question. I bet you can guess who might be asking. Does it have room for an alpenhorn?
Yes, actually, when the bed is folded up, you could probably fit one hell of a long alpenhorn in there. Pass through straight from the back. We got to camp with you guys.
How does it drive?
It drives kind of like a truck or a van. I mean, it is the same Dodge ProMaster exactly. It drives the exact same as these millions of these vans around. It doesn't have that kind of floating on air ride suspension that our bus has. So I don't think you'll be taking a shower while we're going down the road like we might do with the bus or something. But it does drive nice, and it definitely it's more comfortable cross country so far. We've done 100 miles in it so far total.
Is this it is a gas. It is the diesel. Sorry,
Gas.
it is the diesel gas version. So we have to we're so used to putting diesel and everything, except for the Mini Cooper. So we'll be very careful about that. Mike says, I thought you bought a permanent dig in the south. So what we bought is a RV lot, or a lease to an RV lot in Benton, Arizona, which will be the storage space of the bus. So that's where it'll be waiting for us, where the camper van will get us to from the boat.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to all the adventures we'll have in between the East Coast and Arizona, because something small and nimble like this, we'll go back to doing faster trips and going into more interesting places and stuff like that. So really looking forward to some cross-country adventures.
Lots of questions about costs. So I don't mind sharing. Do you?
Yeah, no, we can be sure.
So brand new, when this was brand new in 2016, the list price was about $90,000 on it. We looked at when the 2016 came up, the average retail price was listed at about $59,000 is what the NADA
Private party sales were.
Private party sales were. This one is in impeccable shape. And the owner of it offered it to us at $55,000, so that's what we paid.
So,
we didn't. I'm not a negotiator. I'm like, you offer a good price, I buy it at a good price. That's how I work.
It was a good price, and there was hardly anything wrong with it. So it's in really great shape, and yeah.
Yep. And they seem to be holding their value. There were some 2014s and 2015s listed on RV Trader at that price level and above. So we felt really
in the
good
60s
about it.
even.
Yeah. So as far as what's currently on the market. This seemed like a great price for the unit. And
one question we've gotten a lot before is like, well, why not just buy a bare ProMaster and convert it ourselves and do all the raw conversion stuff? And if we had a shop and time to do it, that would be an interesting way to go. But to get a lot of the things, a lot of the more interesting things, how they utilize space on a Travato G, stuff is hanging underneath, and that's stuff that's very difficult to do if you're doing a self-conversion. So I like what Travato did, and I didn't want to have to tackle that big of a project to do a conversion from scratch.
Yeah, and we've done a custom build before in our Oliver travel trailer. We did a lot of custom mods on our bus. For this, we just wanted something stock, drive it off the lot, and have a network of community to tap into. There's a fantastic Travato owners group on Facebook.
And then we'll start doing our own upgrades and adding and contributing to that community of.
Yes, and of course, through all this, we have been talking with Steph and James of the Fit RV.
Hey guys.
They've become good friends of ours through the process, and they were the first to know when we found this one.
Yes, we sent them right before we signed the paper. We sent the pictures. So we're like, guess what? And they were so excited.
And we're looking forward to actually meeting them in person. And yes, this is the same model and year as Lance.
Although theirs is a one-of-a-kind special one with a bike garage in the back and a raised bed.
Let's see, have we set up, so the front seating area can all convert down to a separate bed. The prior owner has the extra cushions to do that still in storage, so he will be getting those to us. So we have not set it up in bed mode yet.
Yeah, but that's actually an even bigger bed if you just want to do the transition thing. And some people travel, families with kids travel, and there's seat belts for 4. Which is actually something we liked about this layout, is because so many other Class Bs that have seatbelts for 4, the passengers are way in the very, very back. You can't have a conversation if you're bringing 4 people around to go out to dinner and just using it as a daily driver.
Does ours have the Suma springs, do we know?
No, it does not have the Suma spring upgrade. That is something that might help improve the ride, and we know that several people have done that.
Do we know what engine it has? Do you know that off the top of your head?
It is whatever there was a gas and a diesel version of the ProMaster.
Yeah, so basically if you go Google 2016 Travato, you should be able to find all the specs.
There was only one option, yes.
So it's a standard stock, pretty much.
I think it's a 270 horsepower, very stock ProMaster.
How does the awning work? It's just on a button, it comes out, it's a standard awning.
Yeah,
nothing fancy.
I think the newer model years, 2019, I think they went with legless awning. So this one, if it's all the way out, you need to extend legs down to support it out. But it seems like a nice awning. We haven't even extended it the entire way yet.
Yeah, well, maybe we will tonight. So someone asked, are we keeping the small car? And you probably missed the story at the beginning. No, we sold the Mini Cooper 5 minutes after we found out this was for sale. All serendipitously work out. This is a replacement for the Mini Cooper. It's not replacing the boat or the bus. This is in addition to the fleet.
Yes.
All right. Does it have a Wii Boost yet? So we have not done a mobile internet installation on it yet.
We've barely carried a few pieces of clothing here.
Yes,
so.
we have some food on board. We've got some sheets to cover the bed. So this is our first night in it. We just closed on it on Friday. So you can expect after we have some time on it and we figure out exactly what we want to do with it. There'll be additions. I'm sure we'll be upgrading the batteries to lithium. We'll add some more solar.
We will have fun with this.
Yes.
There will be tech coming out of its ears.
Somewhat. I mean, but keep in mind, this is going to be something that we spend maybe a week or two at a time in at most.
Yep.
And we'll do some 2 or 3 day trips in. It's not going to be something we're living in. So most of the upgrades and modifications and maintenance and stuff like that is going to be going still towards the bus and the boat, which are our primary homes.
Yep.
So we are going to go ahead and end this broadcast. We have our dear friends. Mary is holding the camera. Thank you, Mary. And Forrest, they just happen to be passing through the area, so we are on our first night camping with them as our neighbors. So we are going to go enjoy our evening with them. We will get a more produced version of this, a little more professional, without the tech glitches.
Yes. With a proper tour and everything else, with more detail that'll come out, and there'll also be a blog post version going through the story and stuff. And in that, we'll probably disclose what it was like spending our first night in it. Did the bed really work?
Maybe I have the blog post already written. I might just insert this video and go with it, and then we'll do a follow up later.
Okay, sounds good.
So thank you guys for joining in. We're so excited to have found our Class B. We need your help though. We are trying to come up with the right name for it. So if you've got ideas for a name for our new Travato, let us know. We'd like something somewhat geeky and something that conveys something that moves us in between.
Yes, it's our teleportation pod, shuttlecraft, something. So we've got a few ideas, but definitely throw a few other suggestions our way.
Leave them in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think, what we should name our Travato. And yeah, thanks for joining in on this. This is our first time revealing it in public. We're super excited, and we hope our first night goes, I think it'll go great.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take care.